Welcome back to the Ross Bolen podcast. I am your host, Ross Bolen. Here with your co-host, Jared Borislow, a.k.a. J-Bone. What's going on with you, dude?
You know, I'm just enjoying daylight savings, and I'm ready for it to be permanent, Ross.
Oh, God. Huge news coming from the Hill. Is that what they say? The Hill? Right?
Well, that's Capitol Hill, and I
Government
think,
stuff?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Sure. From CNN. The Senate on Tuesday passed a measure that would make daylight saving time permanent across the United States. The Sunshine Protection Act passed the chamber by unanimous consent. The bill would still need to pass the House and be signed by President Joe Biden to become law. If the measure clears Congress and is signed into law, it would mean no more falling back every year in the fall.
Am I crazy for thinking that this is the first time that I can remember in my 29 years on Earth that Congress has done anything that has directly impacted me?
Or been remotely exciting to you?
Yes.
CNN has reached out to House Speaker Nancy, what do we name? Spit Roasty, her office, for comment on when or if the House will take up the bill, and did not immediately receive a response. Republican Senator Marco Rubio of Florida, who I once famously voted for in a primary, a sponsor of the legislation, said he doesn't have any assurance the House will take it up, but, quote, it's an idea whose time has come, end quote.
I mean, I would agree.
Yeah, I mean, look,
There's so many. I can't think of a single positive except for the morning people who deserve to be knocked down a peg if you're a morning person.
yeah, and daylight savings time is one of the worst long-standing institutions in America, Arizona excluded. And the time for its fall is nigh. Jared, we must end this plague on our sleep schedules, this nightmare for parents with toddlers everywhere, this twice-a-year pain in the ass where you have to manually change the time on every microwave and stove clock once and for all.
Because I don't understand. People go, "Oh, well, we should keep it because morning people they need their light half the year, and then
No.
night people they get their light. It just doesn't make sense.
No,
It messes up the circadian rhythm.
It does nothing but confuse our bodies and minds in an unhealthy way
and cause seasonal affective disorder.
and cause these weird parts of the year where it's extremely fucking dark by 5 p.m.
Uh-huh.
And nobody needs that, man. Just let the sun do its thing and let the earth spin round it. And that's that. We don't need all these we've already done away with math. Now we're doing away with daylight saving time. Soon it'll be clocks altogether, then our clothing, and then it's back to the pile in the wilderness.
I'm excited for this personally.
Oh, extremely excited. We here at the Ross Bolen podcast wholeheartedly endorse the Sunshine Protection Act, which is a fucking incredible name. They always get that wrong, too. It's like they're throwing us a bone here. We'll do one thing correctly, and then it's back to shitstorm.
Do you remember when we invaded Panama and it was called Operation Just Cause?
Yeah,
That's another.
We talked about that on here at some point.
It's another name. Great name.
All-time name. Justify your actions through the naming of the operation. Anyway, we demand President Byron, sign the Sunshine Protection Act and destroy this great evil once and for all. You can be our Frodo, Joe.
Joseph Robinette Biden.
Cast the ring back into the fires of Mordor. Do it.
Honestly, people are complaining about, Joe Biden's presidency and saying Byron's legacy and saying he's going to have a bad legacy if he ends up being a one-term president, which I don't think he could survive 2 terms. So I certainly hope that somebody else runs, which I don't think is going to happen because
Biden, who gives a shit? It doesn't matter anymore.
Point being, he can save his entire legacy. We could be in World War III tomorrow and enter war with Russia.
Okay.
But I will only remember this presidency for him saving daylight savings from all of us.
People need to chill on Biden's legacy. It's 40 years in the making already. And we all knew we were electing an elderly, potentially closing in on senility man. And I think he's done okay. He just isn't exciting. That's the problem with it. He doesn't do any. Trump was firing off tweets with misspellings left and right. He didn't give a fuck. Kafifi. Biden's tweets are clearly written by someone else. Yeah. And they're automated and scheduled, and that type of thing is where I hoped we'd see improvement as a result of Trump's insanity. Like, he was a nut on Twitter, and I thought that would get... I mean, it was at least we felt like we had a direct point of contact with the president of the United States for really the first time ever.
I felt legitimately, like, if I tweeted at Donald Trump...
Like, there was a chance he would read it.
Yes, and retweet it.
Potentially, he was allegedly just retweeting things without reading them.
Yes.
Just like that high-ranking executive at Estee Lauder or whatever was re-memeing things without reading them.
Yep. Now, what we need...
I'm just bored. And like, that's...
I agree.
The other part about my argument, though, about, like, chill out, let's wait and see, is we're clearly in the midst of a very conflict-heavy point in history with what's going on with Russia and Ukraine. And the old man has a chance here to at least keep our ship steady throughout the course of this. I don't know what that's going to mean long-term, but things are certainly pointing in the direction of us being involved in some fashion. And it's just, that's what's going to matter. Like, in a couple more years, we can really judge how this went.
I also think, well, you say his legacy's 40 years in the making, but like, when you become president, I think that is your legacy.
Sure, you're right. You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Like,
but
Trump is no longer, that's the reality TV star. Like, he's the former president. And
right.
Everything he did before that, the bankruptcies, the companies, the apprentice, like, I don't think of that anymore.
I mean, I think that was certainly the case before Donald Trump, but I disagree with your argument. I do think of him as the reality TV star as I try to just suppress that 4 years of my life into non-existence.
We need Biden to do what the French president is currently doing. Like, he's seeing how much people love Volodymyr Zelensky, who's doing these, like, press things in, like, a hoodie and jeans. So President Macron in France showed up to a meeting, like, today or yesterday, in a hoodie and jeans, or, like, a T-shirt and jeans, because he wants to be more like Zelensky to get favorability with the public.
By the way, I'm not even saying I'm suppressing those 4 years of my life simply because of the Don. Those were just a shitty 4 years for me, man.
Yeah, they were.
I want to wipe them from my memory bank. President Trump or no President Trump, they sucked.
And if you want to buy a shirt that commemorates one part of that, you can go to bullmedia.com/shop.
That's at least one part, maybe a couple parts of that.
Actually,
represented via shirt.
Multiple. You are not alone.
I'm not mistaken.
In a coffee mug.
Yeah, get in there. Anyway, yeah, I'm extremely excited about this. You brought up something else just now that I wanted to touch. During Zelensky's address to our Congress, I believe it were, one of the idiots, a noted Democrat, I would add, in the fucking audience of our Congress, was playing, like, Fruit Ninja, bro. Like, he was swiping at his iPad, like, feverishly, but in a fashion that was clearly not browsing. Like, it's not like he was flicking up through a document or, like, you know, signing his signature over and over on important papers.
I think he was playing, like, 2009
This man was straight up going off on Fruit Ninja.
Yeah, do people even know? Do kids these days, if you're 18 years old, I don't even know if you know what Fruit Ninja is.
I don't know if they know what Congress is. Either.
Yeah. Well,
hit the soundboard, Jared.
Please clap.
That's really Congress.
That's appropriate.
He was a president.
It's appropriate.
He was running for president.
Yeah.
I guess
anyway,
not president.
Huge news about the potential death of daylight saving time, though. Fuck all that. I don't care if our phones and computers update automatically. The rest of the process of updating all your clocks is hell. It screws with my sleep schedule, and more importantly, the toddlers. It is. I can't do this anymore. I can't do it. I'm 6 months into half-step parenting, and I can't do it anymore.
I agree. And I think the best thing about daylight savings time, is it ending or beginning? I don't know how to phrase it, honestly.
It's being murdered. That's how I'm putting it. We are murdering daylight savings time. Bullet in the head. Pop.
Okay, so
2 in the chest for make sure. Ta-ta.
The best thing about that is that that's more time to lay by the pool, completely oiled up and 100% nude, minus Birddogs shorts on your legs.
Today's episode is brought to you by Birddogs shorts and pants, and we have a new code, so listen up. It's Ross, by the way. That's the code, Ross. Birddogs, making the most comfortable shorts in the world with a built-in underwear you know and love for living life and making love. It's like, why wear shorts with underwear when you can wear even better shorts with built-in underwear, thus creating less laundry, thus saving the planet, making you a hero who's also better looking and more comfortable. Also, they dry faster than a bathing suit. You can swim in them. You can go play golf in them. You can do whatever you want in them. They also have pants for the winter months when it's colder.
I'm wearing
pants for
joggers.
Work, pants for play. Jared's got on the new Birddogs joggers right now. They're phenomenal. They look great. They're khaki in this case. There's many colors to choose from, but Jared could wear those to work, to do podcasting. He could wear them to go play golf and then out to the bar, and he would be comfortable and look phenomenal, and nobody would know that he doesn't even have fucking underwear on.
I don't.
But he is a comfortable lad.
How does my ass look?
Phenomenal. It's popping, as it always is when you're wearing Birddogs. What's more, for being an RBP listener, when you use the code ROSS at checkout on birddogs.com, Birddogs is giving away free whistling footballs like the Nerf football you grew up with and loved, except it's a Birddogs whistling football with the Birddogs branding on the ball itself as well as the tail. And when you throw it through the air, it makes a whistle. It's going to change your life, this football, just as much as the Birddogs clothing does. So you got to get yourself one using code ROSS when you check out on birddogs.com. Okay, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't even want to talk about this, but I feel that I must, especially based on my recent voicing that I am back in on the Kanye West fan wagon because of the documentary Genius, a Kanye trilogy on Netflix. Ye has continued his ongoing Instagram implosion, if you haven't noticed. For those of you who have not paid attention to this at all, which I hope is a lot of you for your own sakes.
I actually haven't. I'm excited to hear this because I have not heard any news about Ye.
God, I'll give you a quick update. Just on the story as a whole. Like, basically, here's the TLDR, too long, didn't read version of the story. Kanye married Kim in 2014. That's Kanye West and Kim Kardashian. They had 4 kids through all manner of surrogacies and pregnancies and such, named North, Saint, Psalm, and Chicago. They were married from 2014 to 2022. Kanye has experienced a lot of mental health issues during their marriage, which seemed to really start after he lost his mom in 2007. So that's 7 years prior to marrying Kim Kardashian, that I, as a fan, started to notice that he seemed to be going through some serious issues. So Kim and Kanye split last year. He has publicly dated a couple women since, including Julia Fox, and now some chick that looks exactly like Kim Kardashian. Kim has been publicly dating Pete Davidson of Saturday Night Live and the King of Staten Island fame. And Kanye has been adamantly refusing, or he was adamantly refusing to go through the divorce process at all, apparently just basically stonewalling Kim at every turn. And she had to go get herself declared legally single by a judge. And he dropped a music video to a song called Easy with Game, where he drops the bar, God Save Me From That Crash, to beat Pete Davidson's ass, with a claymation version of Pete Davidson being murdered and buried by a claymation Kanye West. That upset them even more. There's been drama whether or not, like, he was invited to one of his kids' birthday parties. He wasn't given the address. Then Travis Scott gave him the address, and then Kanye did a long rant on Instagram. He's made it all as public as he can. Okay? He wanted to get, at one point, I'm not sure about now, but at one point he wanted to get back together with Kim Kardashian for several months during this process. He's trying to get his family back together. One of the songs that was, I think, left off of Donda 1 was like, I'm losing my family. I'm losing my family. He sang it, you know, like over and over though. I'm losing my family. Losing my family. It was the saddest fucking song ever, so I'm pretty sure that's why I left it off.
But when he openly wept during?
Yeah, this has been going on for a long time, is my point. This breakup process, and the dude is still harassing her on Instagram, and it seems like he maybe doesn't get the ramifications of what he's doing.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Because it's not just, like, in his position, it's not just that he's traumatizing his children and their mother.
One of whom is named Chicago, by the way.
Yeah.
Like the city.
Like the city. And leaving an irrevocable, you know, mark on their lives. Whether it ends up damaging them in some way, I'm not to say, but a mark for sure that they'll have to carry with them. And it's not just that, though. It's that he is basically, he's shining a very large light onto an issue that exists in the United States. And that's that we don't really have a great system for child custody. And it can be really, really complicated and drawn out. And one parent or the other feels attacked or alienated, or like they're not getting enough or whatever. The system is fucked. And part of the problem is he thinks he's like, he seems to think this is like some fight that he's been, you know, inflicted with. That it's just him. But it's not. And by being a psycho about it on Instagram and airing out his laundry in public, like, this should be personal, handled in private with your family as quietly as possible for the sake of your children. The way he's doing it is making an example to other dads or moms who feel like maybe they've been slighted by the custody process to act like psychopaths. And I can tell you just from reading about this a bit outside of Kanye and Kim's story, that when you do what he's doing, you don't look good in the eyes of the judge. And you lose time with your kids, which again, it's really your kids who lose. Like, you're getting further away from 50-50 custody, not closer. And nobody is watching what you're doing and going, that guy has his shit together. They should give him his kids more. Nobody's thinking that. They're thinking, maybe this dude should be on meds. Maybe this dude should be getting more help. Where are his friends? Does he not have people he can talk to? Is there not anyone telling him this is a bad idea? Is he just trying to sell albums? Like, what is it? Because there are a million reasons I can think to screw with the Kardashians. Those people generally suck. They do. They seem to generally suck. But I can't think of a single reason to make it this to justify his actions as it pertains to the damage that it might do to his kids. That part of it, I just don't understand. I can't understand it. I understand what I assume is furious anger, feeling mistreated by the justice system and having your children less than you would like. I imagine that is hellacious. I do not understand behaving like a fucking 12-year-old on Instagram. It just like, speaking to, like, you know, what was nice about Trump's transparency on Twitter was that you knew it was him. Mm-hmm. It's the opposite with Kanye. I'm like, I wish I thought this was someone else running his account, but I know it's him because he's 46 or whatever and doesn't know how to, like, crop a screenshot. Like, just crop a screenshot one time. It's a mess in there. And for, like, social media OCD people like Jared and I can't do it. It drives me nuts just looking at his account. I should never have followed him back. The stupid Genius documentary dragged me back in. And that's the other side of this, is like, this dude presents as this, like, righteous Christian man trying to better himself in the eyes of God and walk in the light of the Lord. Then where the fuck does this fit into that? How is this in any way showing your Christian values to the world?
Have you seen publicly? Skeet is the devil. You can tell by his tattoos.
Okay, so Jared, if you missed this part, finally, Pete Davidson texts Kanye.
I did read this text conversation.
And the text conversation gets aired out, and it's hysterical. Kanye's like, where are you? And he's like, in your wife's bed, and sends a screenshot of him shirtless doing the classic... doing
the shocker?
What's the ripping and the tearing guy's name?
Oh, Hito Rick.
The Hito Rick finger sign. And he sent that picture back to Kanye West. Like, that's a real thing that happened in our timeline. Which, to give Pete some advice, that's not the move. Don't antagonize the guy. What the fuck are you thinking?
Yeah, because I understand Pete's angry because Kanye is, like, you know, kind of
sure
seeking to ruin his life, but, like,
at least his relationship.
Pete's
life, though.
Texts back to Kanye. He was trying to, like, say how nice he was to him, and I'm like, dude, you just antagonized him, like, literally 3 texts before this.
Yeah, keeping in mind, Pete has had mental health issues too. But, like, I mean, as a guy who's had mental health issues, like, you still know when to keep your fucking mouth shut. Sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes I have kept my mouth shut when it was very, very hard. Very hard. And he should have kept his mouth shut. Don't feed the trolls. That's the internet rule that everybody should know, just like you know at the zoo. Don't feed the animals. To get online, the first thing you should have to do is an agreement should pop up when you pull up a browser and it says, are you going to feed the trolls? And if you say yes, your browser closes. Mm-hmm. Do not feed the trolls. Pete is feeding the trolls. And here's what happens. This is why this is bad. Complex posted a photo of Pete Davidson on the set of a movie he's filming. This is an hour ago. Okay. There are many, many, many thousands of comments. The majority of them say, skeet. Skeet, skeet, L post, skeet, find God, skeet, skeet, find God, skeet, skeet Davidson, skeet, 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 find God, skeet. It's like it goes forever. These are the people, like, as a hardcore Kanye fan who is slowly Homer Simpson backing into the bush right now as the dude derails again. Who are these people? Who are that? Like, because they're the people that genuinely will troll this dude, Pete, for the rest of his life. I don't know if he realizes that. Like, for the rest of his life.
So this is Kanye's version of the beehive.
Yes, dude.
So what do you call it? The yay hive? No.
They just say find God, bro. Did you not see some of the videos we've done about Kanye's shit the last few weeks?
People comment,
find God. And I can't, it's also a funny meme to me now. I'm just going to comment that on shit.
Is there a name for the Kanye beehive? Yay hive doesn't make sense. What's like a pun with yay, but like
yeast enthusiasts? I don't know.
Did you just say yeast enthusiasts?
Yeezy
Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day
Trolls.
Yeah, that's got to be it.
Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Trolls. Yeah. Anyway, it just, look, this is not going to end well for anyone involved anymore. It's really sad. The only way it ends is if Kanye drops the topic and walks away, handles it privately in the court of law in regard to his custody agreement, and just fucking leave the woman alone. Like, it's over. Stop it. Why? Why do you care about Pete Davidson, bro? It's Pete Davidson, bro. And you're Kanye West. Isn't that the way Kanye would look at it? Then why does he care? Right? If he thinks he's this, the thing that he's giving away here is that he's clearly incredibly jealous and infuriated by Pete Davidson's presence in his ex's life. It makes sense. But to not know that doing what you're doing is telling everyone that, you're clearly butthurt that this dude has swooped in. Why? Why are you doing this? Just shut the fuck up. Go about your business. Sit courtside with the Kim lookalike. You're good. Go back to making music with 46 different features on every single track. For the love of God. I was just back in, and now I'm out again. I was just back in. But I can't stay for this.
In, out, in, out.
In or out. My grandpa used to say that to me all the time. Rest in peace. In or out, in or out, in or out.
It's also people would say that at college parties, you know? In or out. You gotta come in the front door.
Keep the door shut.
Keep the door shut, man. Cops might come up.
That's how my grandpa was, except it wasn't about the police. It was about the air conditioner. I'd be standing at the sliding door that went into his backyard, and he'd yell at me, in or out, in or out, in or out. And I'd stand there, and because he'd presented me with the choice, then it became hard. I really don't know which one.
Is that that is an old person thing to do? Is that a remnant from when the air conditioner used to be like a fan in front of a big block of ice?
And I think it's just when it was air conditioner was seen as more of a luxury because there were people who didn't grow up with it who were still alive.
You know what's
now
crazy?
Those people are gone, and we shit people who take everything for granted are still here until it's gone. Like when our power went out and heater and air went out and stuff in Austin during the snowpocalypse last year, people were fucking furious.
A crazy thing that I'll be able to tell my kids is my freshman year dorm.
Is that Daddy has two buttholes?
Daddy. So yeah, I will have to do that talk with them at one point. So I'll have to find what's a birds and the bees, but it's about having two buttholes. The tree,
2 holes in the trees.
The tree with 2 knot holes. 2 balloon knot holes.
Just stop, Jared.
Okay, the point, what I was saying was my freshman year college dorm had no air conditioning. They'll be like, what the fuck? You lived in a fucking... And my fraternity house didn't have air conditioning.
My junior year college dorm...
In Texas?
Didn't have air conditioning.
No, in Texas.
It was called Falls Hall. It's gone now. They bulldozed it after I graduated.
You're saying in I was in Wisconsin.
No, I
Makes sense
swear
in
to God,
Wisconsin.
there were 2 dorms on Texas State's campus that didn't have central air and heating.
Did you have a window
unit?
unit?
Our fraternity house didn't have central air and heating.
Did you have a window unit?
Yes. Yes, surely. Because I didn't die, so I must have had a window unit.
We didn't have a window unit in my dorm, but then again, it was Wisconsin. It was only hot for like 3 of the months I was there.
Man, shout out people who live without air and heating.
You can't live without both. in this day and age.
You definitely can. But shout out those people, because I am way too pussy for that life.
If somebody is listening right now and you live somewhere that has neither air conditioning nor heating, please reach out to us, because I will give you a free month of Patreon.
And then we've got a sponsor just for you, Mr. Doesn't Have Air Conditioning or Heating, and it's called Headspace. Today's episode is brought to you by Headspace. I assume if you don't have air conditioning or heating that you really do need to meditate. This is a friendly reminder that anything that costs you your mental health is too expensive. It's time to invest in yourself and finally relieve your ongoing stress, anxiety, and sleeplessness. Learn how to easily improve your mental health and well-being with Headspace. We all say fine when we don't mean it, but fine isn't really an emotion, is it? How many times have you told yourself you're fine when all you've really felt is anger or sadness or nerves? Headspace is scientifically proven to help manage your feelings and your mental health. In fact, a recent study proved in just 2 weeks, Headspace can reduce your stress by 14%. Whether you want to relieve stress and anxiety, sleep better, or improve your focus, Headspace is your everyday dose of mindfulness for real life. Jared and I have been harping on how much meditation does for us for like a year now, and it can do that for you. It helps me relax, stay focused and present, prepare for bed. The benefits are really endless, truly. And however you're feeling, try Headspace at headspace.com/Ross, and you'll get 1 free month of their entire mindfulness library. This is the best Headspace offer available, so go to headspace.com/Ross today. That's headspace.com/Ross to get your mindfulness right. Jared, we have many thousands of college-aged listeners, and we get a lot of questions about what kind of job or career to pursue on the other side of graduation. I assume because we know people, because it always perplexes me when people ask us for career advice. Like, we're internet pirates. So, I mean, even during your brief stint in the actual working world, you were still at a startup. I won't say in the actual working world. In a job that you could easily explain to people.
Yes.
That was still a startup in Austin, Texas.
I have never worked for a non-startup. I was either self-employed, unemployed, or working at a startup since I left college.
Right, and I'm on my second job ever. Third, really, technically, because I worked for a year in college, but that wasn't a real job.
No.
It was just me sitting in a box room getting stoned. But this is my second job ever, and the first one was a startup for 7 years, and then I started this job, and that's it. So that being said, I do think I have some general advice for what type of career you should pursue after college. You know, it's a new world out here with the internet and social media and TikTokers being invited to the White House and such. So I would say find a career with like a very loose work from home policy so that you can show up whenever you see fit. Like, that gives you a good what's the word I'm looking for? A good excuse to not work whenever you need to.
Are you saying like one that you
like
do come into the office? Or so it could be one where either you don't go into the office at all, or if you do, you also are working from home. So it's like, oh, he's probably late because he was starting work from home and he came in at 11 or something like that.
Yeah, one that's just flexible. As flexible as possible with a work from home policy is what you
Which is a lot easier to find now
want.
than when we were entering the workforce.
Extremely easy. You can thank the pandemic for that. Also, you know, if you can find a career where you work minimally, but on something that you're extremely passionate about and invested in, but that doesn't require you to do very much.
This is super easy to do, by the way.
Yeah,
all of these things that you're checking off this list, you should be able to find one of these within your first 3 jobs you look for.
Yeah, one that perfectly suits your talents and your interests.
Okay, yeah,
both.
Okay,
not just one or the other, because that's not what you're looking for. Also, you could probably find one where you're paid far more than you're worth.
Which is actually funny because right now there's this whole. I saw an article the other day. It's like way too many college graduates. First job out of college, they're making 6 figures right now. Because all these tech companies and all these like consulting companies are just paying. They need bodies.
Yeah,
they need bodies right now because there's so many. It's like the workforce is so thin, and they're getting 6 figures.
Well, that's the only way to pull people in. I mean, I I thought at the beginning of the pandemic that this was just like a rich people theory that like, oh, well, nobody's working because they can just stay home and take government money. But it's not. I've had multiple ride-sharing drivers bring it up with me now. Like, One of them was the other day we passed the new Arby's, and my driver, I'm not fucking with you. I didn't say anything, Jared. We're passing the new Arby's that we've talked about on the show, and she was like, I cannot tell you how excited I am about that Arby's, but it's only drive-through right now. The inside's not open. And I was like, why is that? And she was like, well, they can't find anyone to work there because people are just staying at home and taking government money. And I was like, oh, shit. That really is a thing? I thought that was just like kind of a bullshit theory from rich people who have money and don't know what they're talking about, which is often the case. Like, that's a lot of the shit that I get fed in my fucking world.
You get fed shit?
I hear a lot of that. I eat pieces of shit like you for breakfast, Jared. And so, anyway, it's just interesting to me. Like, that's definitely a thing in our economy still in 2022, is for a lot of lower paying careers, people are saying, fuck that. Like, if I can stay home, get money still, and work on something else that could potentially turn into something else, I hope, is what a lot of people are doing, doesn't seem like a bad option. So just an interesting thing that we're going to continue to see unfold over the coming years is like how the economy responds to, and how the job market most specifically responds to the end of the pandemic, hopefully one day soon. I don't know who has to announce that. Is there not like a Groundhog Phil situation where we check something to see like one more year of pandemic? Is that not... Is it Fauci pops his head out of the ground?
It's COVID Carl, the Diglett from Pokemon.
Anyway, so yeah, find a job where you're paid way more than you're worth, and one with off hours, so you don't have to sit in traffic. If you're in a big city, just get one with off hours, because the other day I drove during the actual hours that people go to work, like a lot of people, probably like 30% of Austin, and it was fucked up.
Yeah, you do. The highway that is in between the office and your house is not good. It's a bad.
It was
highway.
really, really bad. It was not cool at all. That would be my advice though, in terms of looking for a career. So see, just like as many of those on the checklist as you can get, like even one is great.
I mean, I have another one. Don't get a job where, and this is hypothetical.
Yeah.
Where your boss repeatedly, multiple times a day, asks to spank your tight little ass.
Sometimes I don't even ask.
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
hypothetical. Yeah. Because health insurance, it turns out, a lot of HMOs don't cover voluntary, as they see it. They don't know the truth because I lie to them.
Paddlings.
Hypothetically, paddlings.
Hand paddlings, as I call them.
Yeah. They say, oh, it's like sex injuries, right?
Like, you can't get coverage on a sex injury?
Nah, dude. Nah.
Damn.
Yeah. Your back's all scratched
Somebody
up.
Break you off?
Your back's
bone?
all scratched off. They're like, They're like, nah, man. Like, you're horny as fuck, bro. Like, no, we're not covering that shit.
Get out of here. You should lie and say it was a wolverine or a koala.
So you want me to say I was fucking a wolverine or a koala? You think they'd cover that if I said I was banging the...
I don't understand why you have to brag to the EMTs about your sex life.
That's the issue. If I told them it was... I was like, hey, just so you know, I had sex and that's what this is from. They're like, okay, cool. That's not covered. If I was like, I got attacked by a rabid badger, they'd be like, oh, fuck, dude, I'm so sorry.
You're going to have me checking my health insurance after this, seeing what my coverage entails? I don't even know how to check. I'll be honest with you.
Does yours cover blue balls?
Nope.
Okay, well, if you need help fixing that, let me know.
Oh, God. Today's episode is brought to you by Babbel. For most of us, learning a second language in high school or college wasn't exactly a high point in our academic careers. I took Spanish for 15 years, technically.
I have a Spanish degree. I have a bachelor's degree in Spanish.
Yeah, like legitimately 15 years from kindergarten through college. That's how many years total. And last year I realized I pretty much only remember how to say, me llamo Guillermo.
Yeah, here's the thing. As somebody who has a Spanish degree, I got that degree 7 years ago. I forgot how to speak it. So Babbel is amazing.
You haven't been practicing, Jared.
I've not been practicing. Babbel is so good for getting my practicing back up. It's got reminders. It's just like right in your phone. You can just like, you know what? I don't want to scroll TikTok. I'm going to go on Babbel.
Yeah, I mean, whenever you've got 10, 20, 30 minutes to get in there and work on your language a little bit, it's great. And like Jared said, if you went to school and studied a language and maybe you've fallen out of practice and need a way to get back into it, you can do that now thanks to Babbel, the language learning app that's sold more than 10 million subscriptions. There's an addictively fun and easy way to learn a new language. Whether you'll be traveling abroad or connecting in a deeper way with family, or you just have some free time, Babbel teaches bite-sized language lessons that you'll actually use in the real world. Babbel's 15-minute lessons make it perfect to learn a new language on the go. Other language learning apps use AI for their lesson plans, but Babbel lessons were created by over 100 language experts. Their teaching method has been scientifically proven to be effective. With Babbel, you can choose from 14 different languages, including Spanish, French, Italian, and German. Plus, Babbel's speech recognition technology helps you to improve your pronunciation and your accent, which is huge. You obviously want to check those two things, and a lot of language apps don't bring that to you. There are many ways to learn with Babbel. In addition to lessons, you can access podcasts, games, videos, stories, even live classes. Plus, it comes with a 20-day money-back guarantee. Start your new language learning journey today with Babbel. Right now, when you purchase a 3-month Babbel subscription, you'll get an additional 3 months for free. That's 6 months for the price of 3. Just go to Babbel.com and use promo code RBP to pop out the other side of this pandemic more worldly than you've ever been, baby. That's Babbel.com, code RBP. Babbel. Language for life. Tomorrow is St. Patrick's Day. J-Bone, a sacred day for the Irish and all alcoholics. The day commemorates when St. Patrick, I guess just St. Patrick, not when, just
it's his day.
Just St. Patrick, and the arrival of Christianity in Ireland, and celebrates the heritage and culture of the Irish in general. Celebrations generally involve public parades and festivals, and the wearing of green or shamrocks. We both have green on. Look at us.
Yeah.
We're covered for tomorrow. Just sleep in these clothes.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about this a while back, but like, it's surprising that St. Patrick's Day hasn't come under cultural appropriation umbrellas yet.
Right.
Because it's the whole point of it, and how we grew up, Ross and I, in like the Americanized culture.
In the streets.
Cinco de Mayo and St. Patrick's Day were solely drinking holidays. Like, I even remember when I was a freshman in college. This is before a lot of the like more, social justice, cultural appropriation reckonings
Cancel
happened.
Culture.
It was like Cinco de Mayo was everybody would just wear sombreros and drink tequila and drink Corona, and that was like how you celebrated, and you didn't even realize what you were doing at the time.
Yeah, I saw some more fucked up versions of stuff like that than that in college.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't good. But the world's come a long way since then, thanks to all the cancel culture warriors out there canceling people like me on a daily basis. Stay at it. Keep on canceling. You're doing it. Very cool. Way to go. Anyway, I found a kind of a funny bit of information. Christians who belong to liturgical denominations also attend church services, and historically the Lenten restrictions on eating and drinking alcohol were lifted for the day, which has encouraged and propagated the holiday's tradition of alcohol consumption.
So maybe it's not an Irish thing, it's a Christian thing.
This is like the godly version of purge. For 2 days, you're allowed to get shithoused. Go forth. I didn't know that was like a tied to the religious part of it.
No, that's a good point. So maybe it's not a Irish stereotype, it's a Christian stereotype.
Yeah, you'll notice God didn't say shit about weed. He said, do not drink until drunkenness. He didn't say, do not hit the joint until stoned.
And you know what else is, you know what's green for St. Patrick's Day? Marijuana.
That's true. Many strains do contain a green hue.
Do they not all?
I'm sure there's some really brown, terrible shit out there, Anyway, you a big St. Patrick's Day celebrator, J-Bone?
No.
You don't have a St. Patty's Day party you're going to hit? Some cities have huge, like Dallas has
Chicago
a
is the
big
biggest
St. Patty's Day. Yeah, Chicago's
St.
enormous.
Louis? South St. Louis?
Is it areas that have large Irish contingencies?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
With all the fucking white people in Austin, we don't have that going for us? Because I don't think it's taken that seriously here.
No, we're German and Czech down here.
German and Czech?
So we just celebrate.
How the hell do you figure that?
German...
Central Texas, historically.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but I'm saying Austin. We don't have any...
California. We have Californians now. That's what we fucking have.
Yeah, we don't have any real, like, cultural...
Enclaves. That's the word you're looking for.
Yeah.
We don't have those here. No.
Or cul-de-sacs.
It is white people from California. That's what we have.
It's upsetting, is what it is. but you know, we live here.
What are our biggest celebrations? South by, which is
happening currently,
celebrating technology.
It's not a celebration for me. It celebrates movies and films and music, but it sucks.
Mm-hmm. It's not good. What else? We don't really have much going on.
If there's a pro South by Southwest listener currently with their ears full of me, could you tell me what it is that you love so much about it? You find it easily accessible, and if you're an A-list celebrity, it doesn't count.
Well, if you get a badge through work, if your work sends you, or you're like going to, I understand. If I had a badge, I'd fucking love South by, but I'm not shelling out $1,500 for that shit.
Even if you have a badge,
it's annoying to.
It's a pain in the ass getting from. It's like all over the city, dude. It's not centralized.
Yes, but what it is, you know how have you ever been to like a fucking conference weekend for whatever reason, and it's just like go to this meeting at this time in this.
I haven't.
Okay, well I did for IFC in college.
Wow.
Yeah, that's big time shit right there.
Dork.
And it's so lame and soul sucking. In this one, you just get drunk the whole time, and it's like the coolest version of a conference you could ever go to. All the people who are going to this have to go to those other lame conferences the rest of the year. So this is like the one they look forward to because it's actually fun.
I get that. That makes sense. We should probably be involved in some way.
We should have a South by event.
Then I won't say it sucks anymore. I'll sell out.
Can we have a South by event in your backyard tomorrow?
Maybe. Can we get that approved by the city?
We don't need to.
Pirates, remember? Pirates. Jared and I will be back on Friday with an ad-free episode, as we are every week on patreon.com/Ross Bolen podcast. So get there on Patreon today. We gave you a little 10-minute teaser from our most recent Patreon episode on RBP 477. So go listen to that. And follow us on social media at the Ross Bolen podcast on Instagram and TikTok. At Ross Bolen Pod on Twitter. Follow Jared at Jared Borislow on Twitter and Instagram. Follow at Formula Bone on all the social media platforms to keep up with Jared's Formula Bone F1 show.
The season starts this weekend.
When new episodes are dropping. Keep up with him on twitch.tv/Formula Bone as well when he's doing F1 streams. And I'm still playing Elden Ring on twitch.tv/BossRoll, and it's really fun, but I keep finding new bosses that are really, really hard and frustrating, and I kind of want to break my controller. Mm-hmm. So come watch me get angry if you feel that would make you happy.
Formula One race this weekend. I'm dropping a preview podcast as well as a Drive to Survive Season 4 review tonight. So go to Formula Bone F1 show wherever you get your podcast.
Season 4?
Of Drive to Survive, yeah. You got a lot to watch, brother.
So fucking many episodes. Okay, yeah. Formula Bone F1 show available wherever you listen to RBP. Jared and I'll be back on Friday. Until next time, peace be with you, and also with you.